Cold, just cold fade. Just boom.
He said you ready.
Good morning. Welcome to Community Voice. I'm your host, Keith Parris. I want to thank everybody for joining us this morning. Good morning, Debo.
Good
Good
morning,
morning,
sir.
Jermaine.
Good
What up,
morning.
Clark? Yeah. And so, welcome, and welcome. Right. So, how do I want to start this Monday? Well, how was everybody's weekend?
Well, for me, man, it was great. All of my teams
Great
won.
suit too, by the way.
Thank you, man. I
You
actually
saw the
got it.
suit too?
Nope.
Yeah, this suit right here. You know,
You're not talking about the 300 strong. No, Jermaine.
no, man. I'm talking about the suit I had on yesterday.
Oh, okay.
The suit I had on yesterday. Prime time said it best. When you feel good, look good, you dress good, everything else is good.
And shout out to Colorado.
Man, they put it, yeah,
Pulling upset
yeah. So
among many upsets this weekend.
hmm
Uh,
shout out to the Brewers, man.
yeah, we're gonna get to that.
Yeah,
But let me
Packers, Bucks.
Colorado losing record, but the one thing is though, most of their games are being televised because of Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
So they they're still, I think they're still below
500.
500, but yeah, they beat TCU, which was ranked, I thought, 35-21. So let me also, this is in the Big Ten. James Franklin, who coached Penn State, lost his job. I don't know why it didn't happen sooner. I'm gonna be very honest with you. When James Franklin, he was able, and that's the thing. You find these guys who come from programs that are usually at the bottom, and they bring it up. So James Franklin was at Vanderbilt. He really resurrected Vanderbilt this year. I think it's like 5-1. So Vanderbilt is really playing well. But Vanderbilt is usually at the bottom of the SEC. So he turned that program around. He came to Penn State right after the Sandusky paternal scandal there with the child molestation and what Penn State was going through. And I think Penn State almost got the death penalty. It was tough. And so they brought him in. And I didn't realize he'd been there 14 years. But what I noticed was that he could never win the big games, the games that matter. And they talked about, they gave his record of what it looked like when he went up against top 5 teams in meaningful games. Penn State didn't perform. And I just wonder, do athletes perform differently for black coaches than they do white coaches? I'm trying to figure out.
Ask Brett Favre.
What do you mean?
As they said, he didn't play well for Ray Rhodes.
Yeah. Well, I'm one of the few people who ever thought Ray Rhodes should have never got that job. But, I'm in a minority. I know I'm in a minority in terms of
when
what
you
I
look
saw.
at his accomplishments.
No, I saw what he did at Philly. And so I didn't think. Now, people thought, okay, he did what, he 8-8.
He did the same thing Mike McCarthy did. Same record. Mike kept his job. Ray Rhodes got fired.
But, one of the things that they cite is that you lose the locker room, right? And that means that how do the players respond? I guess.
Yeah, but you still have what's called the captain or the leader of that team. He may not be designated captain, but you look at a Brett Favre. Brett Favre. So goes him. So goes that team.
Right.
And if he turned on Ray Rhodes, guess what the rest of the team did? They weren't going to play either. Not up to their potential. They wanted him gone.
Well, and so then that says something. But the majority of that team was black.
And again.
And so what I'm saying is that
if you're the quarterback and I need you to look at me and make me look good, throw to me, I want to be one of your favorite guys, your go-to, I can't go against you.
I just thought he lost the locker room, and it was obvious. And I think there's an implicit bias when it comes to black coaches, black leaders.
Was that a question you asked Antonio Freeman when you interviewed him?
I did not. But you know what? And if he's on the team, next time I get a chance to talk with him, I'll ask him. But it wasn't like the players.
Because he was there during that era, wasn't he?
Right. And then who did they hire after that? Wasn't it?
It was McCarthy.
No, I thought it was Holgram.
Okay, maybe it was. No,
it was Holgram because if Brett Favre was quarterback.
Okay, yeah.
He won a Super Bowl.
Okay, but again, same record.
Yeah, but then he ultimately won. So you're saying give him another chance?
Yeah, he had one season,
Well, I'm not saying
and
that
his head was on the chopping block before the season was over.
because people knew that he wasn't a great coach at Philly. I mean, I think Philly was like 8-8.
Well, why did they give him the job?
And that Philly team, that was Reggie White. So I mean, I don't know. I just never, when I heard that they hired him, this even before the season started, I thought, that's a tough one. But
was that one that was done? Did Reggie come after the fact?
Yeah.
I just wonder, was it done to appease him?
Because I think did Ray Rhodes take over for Ryan or?
Jermaine kind of quiet, man. He's usually our thesaurus over there.
Well, I figured I'd let the scholars talk.
You ought to do that more often, young man.
Okay.
They say fall back.
I figured, I let y'all.
I mean, but you probably were young, but you remember that era, don't you?
Oh yeah. I don't think it was Mike Holmgren though. I think it was who was that other guy that was there?
Wasn't Sherman, was it?
Mike Sherman.
Mike Sherman.
Yeah,
it was Mike Sherman.
Right, and then Hogan.
Thought about you yesterday, bro, Keith.
Yeah,
I was at church.
Oh. It wasn't a funeral?
No, it wasn't a funeral, Keith.
Because you and Michelle, y'all always try to sneak funerals in. It's like a church service.
I legitimately went to church. Oh, Clark went too, man. I thought for sure the walls was going to come tumbling down.
Where'd you have church?
We went to Jerusalem.
Okay.
And fellowship with Jerusalem over there.
See, Keith, he didn't tell you.
Here you go. He can't just let.
No, he didn't tell you that he got a double portion of that Holy Ghost yesterday. He went to 2 services. And
it was so nice. I had to do it twice.
But did you give
one of them y'all don't let me. Y'all say that one don't count, but I always say, when you're in here with the pastor, he's giving the word and so forth. So if I'm receiving the word twice in one day, isn't that 2 services?
See, but
we pray. Only thing we don't do is raise offering.
Then you didn't have a service. See,
we have testimony service by way of the phone calls. So what's missing?
I tell you what's missing. Did the choir and praise team sing? Did you raise offering?
We play music. The choir's on the record.
Okay, so you got that covered. All right. Did you have any ushers at
you trying to?
Did you have any ushers?
Yeah, I opened the door for
you. Opened the door.
I'm
Amen.
the usher.
Amen. God bless you. God bless you.
Well, Keith, why are you so quiet over there? What are you just looking up something?
No, I'm pulling up Ray Rhodes' history.
Oh, I thought he was letting the scholars talk.
No, he has to be a part of the conversation.
Actually, he did have a winning record. No, hold on.
Ray Rhodes?
Yeah, he did.
No, he didn't.
No, I would say not with the Packers.
During the entire head coaching career, his 2 teams combined for a record of 37-42-1 across 5 seasons, including going 1-2-0 in the playoffs.
So is that the same one that said who they thought they were? I mean, that's who they thought they were. Crowner.
Yeah, and he coached Philly for 3 years.
Yeah, that is him, right? Yeah, I thought that was him.
No, that wasn't him. No, that's not him. That's we are who.
They are who they thought. They are who we thought they were.
That's my guy. He was up in
Black dude.
Yeah, he was up in Minnesota. Oh, God.
You want to crown him?
What was his name? Because he was a commentator for a while.
Right. He was in Minnesota.
Didn't he pass away?
Not that I know of, but maybe he did. But
no.
But you would see him on commentating here.
Dennis Green.
He did pass away.
Dennis Green.
He did pass away.
No, Dennis Green.
No, he did.
No, Dennis Green.
I know of.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, he coached Larry Fitzgerald his first couple of years in the league. Caller, welcome to the program.
Hey, Keith and gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, I tell you a story. I knew Ray Rhodes was gone the weekend that we stayed up at Oneida.
No, he did.
He walked in the casino, and guess who's sitting at a machine?
Ray Rhodes.
And I said, you can't do that in your home city. You can't just be down here with the regulars. He could have rented him a plane and flew to Vegas or something. But I said, when I saw him over there playing and all these people looking over there and looking at him, I said, I don't think he's going to be here long, because that ain't something you do at that level.
He in there gambling, huh?
Yeah, I don't have a problem with him gambling.
Well, if he was winning, you could do that, right?
Yeah, he may be, but I don't think that was kosher at all.
Well, that is tough, because there were people talking about when Michael Jordan in the playoffs against the Knicks decided he was going to go on a little gambling thing over at Atlantic City. So
that's true, but he was the superstar, so he got away with some stuff. Same way Dennis Rodman got away with some stuff, but they talked about it, but they didn't lose their job.
Right. All right.
Okay, y'all. Bye-bye.
Yeah, and thank you, Jermaine. Dennis Green did die. He is dead.
Is he?
Yeah, he dead. July 21st.
Did he ever say it like that, Keith? Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did. He did, because it was 2016, so he good dead. Boy, the Packers must have won yesterday.
I don't have on Packers, by the way.
Yeah, well, Clark got the whole regalia on this morning.
Let's see what Clark looks like. Look at him.
What?
Papa Smurf.
Don't hate.
I know they won. Great to go, because after that tie, I didn't see any Packers stuff. So,
hey, Keith, can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
To be honest, do you think the Brewers game, you think it was meant to come back here? Because to me, I think they could have. They could have took it on the third, at least at the fourth game.
I'm thinking the Chicago Cubs are happy they had 2 games. I'm sure that they would have loved to be playing in L.A. tonight.
Right.
But no, I think, of course, it was going to be 2 games and then they come back. I thought about that, too.
Not for me. I don't think you leave it to chance, because anything can happen.
Right. Well, I'm not saying that the Brewers were complicit in it. I'm just saying Chicago played harder, and you got 2 games, man. The worst thing could have happened, for the Cubs in terms of business was they
to lose at home.
Yeah, get swept.
Shut out at home. Yeah.
So they did get that extra game, and that's the other thing. It's like, why do you expand the playoff format? More teams make more money. And so that's more money for the league, because there's more eyeballs, watching the games. Yep. So you expand it. That's what they figured out in college football. You go to a playoff where you expand it, because if you expand it in such a way, more people, more different parts of the region are watching. So
profitability.
It's always about the dollar. But it was. So I started with Dennis. I always want to say Dennis. James Franklin lost his job, the coach, and the great thing was that people understood them losing at home to Oregon, because Oregon is just that good, even though Oregon lost Saturday.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, buddy. They're in trouble. They're in real trouble. I mean, the Cowboys, they're in trouble. They're in trouble. Is no way they're losing the teams. I mean, and really, this is what makes me really upset about the tie with the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Because the Packers were a far better team than the Cowboys.
Yeah, but they were a far better team than the Browns too, bud.
Yeah. Well, it was was. And shout out Brett Powell. Me and Brett Powell was talking about this yesterday at church. And Brett Powell, he couldn't get past. He said, you know what? That wild card, that X factor that I don't know until we play is Jordan Love. Because even in that Browns game, the game the Packers should have won, they're up by 10, and the Browns had no offense to speak of, right? And then he throws his interception, puts them if they were close to the red zone.
Right.
They scored this time. And then I Flacco started that game for the Browns against the Packers, and he started yesterday with the Bengals. But looking pretty good. I'm not going to go out and go nuts on this, but especially against a team you should have beat. I mean, the Bengals are awful. There's just no getting around it. The Bengals are awful.
They would have had some explaining to do if they would let the guy in his first week with this organization come in and beat you when He don't even know the offense.
Right. Well, he figured it out in the second half because they started moving the ball in the second half. In first half, they did squat. I mean, they being the Bengals, but in the second half,
I think the defense kind of let up.
Yeah. And they go into what they're Arizona next week. So, caller, welcome to the program. No. So anyway, and as I was talking about James Franklin, but I asked that question because you would think, and I read an article this morning where they were saying that they gave James Franklin everything that he wanted. He wanted a $3 million coordinator. He got a $3 million coordinator. There were questions about the quarterback and what that looked like. And this guy Aller, he's all right, but they lost the tight end, first round pick, NFL Warren. So they lost some pieces. But look, in the Big Ten, the games that matter, Michigan and Ohio State, right? And it used to be Penn State. And shout out to the Hoosiers. Indiana goes up to Eugene, and they beat Oregon in Eugene. So maybe Indiana is not a fluke. Maybe Indiana is better. They still have to get past Ohio State, which is still the class of the Big Ten. Michigan won yesterday, but what the nail in the coffin for James Franklin was losing to UCLA and then lose to Northwestern at home. That woohoo. It would have been tough, but you lose to Northwestern at home. That's Northwestern. No disrespect, great academic institution. I have gone down to football games at Northwestern, but there's no way Northwestern's supposed to go into Penn State and beat Penn State at Penn State in College Park. That's just not supposed to happen. What other little that was about it. Well, I'll get back. We'll talk about the Brewers. You're listening to Community Voice. Excuse me. It's Monday, 414-444-5250, 414-444-5250. Whatever on your mind, give us a call. We'll be right back.
AURN News.
I'm Jamie Jackson. Interest payments on the U.S. national debt have topped $1 trillion for the first time. The number is now higher than federal spending on key programs and rising. In a recent Wall Street Journal article, reporter Richard Rubin breaks down where the money is going and how new revenue sources are shaping the budget. Tariffs are bringing in more cash than ever before. Rubin notes they've grown to become a major funding source, particularly under President Trump's trade policy shift. The idea, he writes, is to rely more on taxes at the border, not on income.
Are they a sustainable revenue source? Yeah, they're sustainable as a revenue source, but you can keep doing this. The U.S. is going to continue to import goods, unless they're 600% tariffs or something like, very, very high. Like some imports will be coming in and tariffs will be able to raise some revenue. It's very
All right, welcome back to Community Voice. Caller, welcome to the program.
Hey, good morning, Mr. Parris. I was doing some thinking last night, and I wanted to ask your opinion on this. Now, you remember back in the 80s and early 90s during that time where, when a lot of people was dating Puerto Ricans, they thought that was the closest thing they was getting to foreign, getting to something that was foreign. And then a lot of the brothers during that time, like late 80s, early 90s, a lot of them was getting Hispanics, Latina, Mexican women, because they thought they was gonna have a kitty with a child with some pretty hair and them funny color eyes. But a lot of kids was coming here with their hair like SOS pad, and some of them still came out shaped like pickup trucks and semi trucks. I'm trying to figure out where's the shift on how they don't want none of these people to be here. Because, back then, a lot of them had those jabots, the damaged blue jean outfit that they used to wear with the snakeskin boots with all that gaudy jewelry. And some of them was getting their hair done by somebody in Westlawn because they thought they was going to be the next upcoming beautician. And then during that time, they was buying their cars from Regency Auto, Frontier, because they sold nothing but raggedy Cadillacs with electrical problems. And then they would get these women, but a lot of the men who was messing with these women, they really didn't have no finesse. So what they used to do was knock them up with a bunch of kids, and then when they started getting that kangaroo pouch downstairs, because they both started smelling like piss, then they started beating on them. But I was trying to figure out where was the shift where now they don't want people from other countries to be here, because back during that time where I think it was it DJ Quick, Drew Down, the conversion vans with the gold D's, all of the brothers was trying to go after them kind of women. So I'm trying to figure out how all of it shifted.
You have to distinguish between Puerto Ricans. Puerto Ricans are Afro-Latina. Latino. A lot of them have African blood. Where if you're looking at Mexicans, they're Chicano, indigenous people. So there's and there's cultural differences. That's why, Puerto Ricans primarily rock with black folks, and black folks rock with Puerto Ricans because of that African blood that we share. So,
but it was okay.
So if you go to New York. You go to New York, that was the deal. And then you throw in people like the Dominicans who really look like us, right? It was, but I think you have to differentiate between the Caribbean and then those people who come from Mexico. And I think the thing that people are focusing on is Mexicans. I agree with you. I don't know what the deal is. Why you going after Mexicans, or you going after Nicaraguans or Salvadorians?
Because I was thinking about it last night, because I know back in the early 90s, they was all up and down Greenfield, National, and, some of them was built up kind of bad, and some of them was going to jail because they thought that was the best thing they can get, that was something that's foreign, because if you got them from overseas, you had to be rich, because they really wasn't messing with no regular smuggler. Or what they did was they used to get them, and then they got one of them little raggedy, small, short booty Cadillacs when they was running them there up to Oshkosh and Fond du Lac, when they got some of them kind of women. But I was just trying to figure all that out, like, what is the shift? Because I used to see a lot of them going down to the Greyhound bus station, and you remember they used to go down to the welfare building to try to pick them up around the first, because they had a lot of kids and they had got them checks, and they was going over there on the south side too.
I worked welfare, and there was pickups going on at the beginning. It's funny at the beginning of the month because those checks were mailed. The only people who were really coming in the building to pick up a check were the people on general assistance, right?
So I was just trying to figure out how everything was shift, because I've been seeing so many brothers talk about they don't want to be over here. But
what was the pejorative thing they used to call the beginning of the month here, Mother's Day?
But then
one of the most awful things I heard.
And then they try to knock her up with all these kids, and these kids still come over here with nappy hair, and that hair wasn't straight at all.
My mama.
Okay.
All right, appreciate you, man. My mama said that, because black folks, some of us always want to talk about the native blood that we have. My people mix with, and my mama would say, so you gonna pick up people worse than you because of hair? And I thought, that's a real interesting point. That we got to stop hating ourselves, and we have to stop hating our innate beauty. And things like colorism is still real. You would have thought we're in the 21st century now, but colorism is so real. And we sometimes we lightly, no pun intended, joke about it. But when you look at people, it's like you ask the question, why would a dark-skinned person have blonde hair? I mean, so I think they've done a good job. They being the people who teaches us, and then we internalize the racism, and in some ways we embody it. But the first thing we need to do is accept the beauty of all African people all over the world, from the darkest to the lightest, brightest. We're all beautiful. There is no hue or color that's superior or more pretty than another. And I think we just need to embrace that and embrace ourselves. But hey, man, we live in America. Caller, welcome to the program.
Hey, good morning. This question is for Keith, if he can answer for me.
Okay, let me run grab him.
Yeah. The question I want to ask, is there any reason why Colin Kaepernick can't enter back into the league, or is there any reason why he hasn't been dialed up to come and play back in the league?
I'm only going to say age, and he's been away. That I think he hasn't played now. How many years? 8 years? So 9 years. I think it's that he shouldn't have been away, which gets us to Mark Sanchez, because Mark Sanchez was playing when Colin Kaepernick was available, and Mark Sanchez was awful, which only then further says that he was blackballed. There's no getting around it, because there were guys who were playing after he was released from the 49ers. He was a far better quarterback than them. So yeah, but I think now just be age. I mean, I think Joe Flacco, for example, he 40. At some point, getting towards the end of the season, we're gonna see he's 40. So I just think it's age.
All right, thanks.
All right. Caller, welcome to the program.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm calling in now to eat crow. I called y'all last week.
I was waiting on you.
Huh?
I was waiting on you.
Yeah, I'm glad you're waiting on me, man.
And we got you in here too, right? You didn't have to wait.
I called in last week, said they was gonna get it. They got it the right way, but I didn't believe it.
I'm glad the phone lines weren't tied up, that you had to wait till Friday. I'm glad we got you in today, because you were saying last week that the phone lines were tied up. So now we got you in.
Yeah, well, y'all told me call back next week, and I did just what you asked me to do. So I'm gonna take it on the chin, but I don't know.
Well, wait a minute. I was with you near the back of the bandwagon, so you went by yourself.
Oh, okay. All right. I had some company.
Yeah. I was getting close. You remember on the bus? You go out that back door. I was getting close to going out that back door on the bus.
You let it close and something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now,
all right. I don't feel so bad now. I don't feel so bad, but
there's a whole lot of people. There's a whole lot of people, man. Because look, we had really been this enthusiastic about the Brewers in a while. I'm talking about enthusiasm. We watched casually. But I think the burger runs was the thing that really got people's attention. Because, and then I thought, wow, the two teams that the Brewers could not beat are playing for the American League Championship right now. They could not beat Toronto. And wasn't it? It was the Mariners that shut down that first run for the Burgers.
Yeah.
Right? Because they had won 11 straight. What was it? The night before they won 8-1 or something like that, and couldn't score a run the next day. Couldn't score a run.
Couldn't buy a run.
Right.
So, and I thought this same thing was going to happen with the Cubs. I was like,
The Cubs, you just they got to get just one hit, and the next thing you know, the series is tied up now.
Well, and the piece that I was worried about was with the Cubs score in the first inning.
Yeah.
Which they did not. That should have been an omen. And then, one of the things they said the Brewers have one of the best defenses in baseball. They have a very good, it's probably not the best, but very good pitching staff. But they didn't have a lot of home run hitters. The irony then in winning the game, what was that, game 5 on Saturday, was that all their runs came from solo home runs.
Yeah, well, they have a plethora of hitters that can do certain things.
Well, you did drop plethora.
Yeah. Who do you think you're talking to here, Mr. Parris? What's going on?
What did I say last week? That we have the most educated, profound listeners anywhere in America. Thank you for dropping that word.
Did he go to Greenfield?
Thank you. But anyway, getting back to what I was getting ready to say, they can beat you in any way. Is what I want.
Hopefully, they can hit some home runs. Because even the game last night between the Mariners and the Blue Jays came down to home runs.
Yeah, well, all they got to do is keep Jackson Cheerio out the infield. If he ain't ready to play, don't play him. Because he's letting balls drop in front of him just like Gorman Thomas. I'm telling you, man.
Oh, like Gorman Thomas.
Yeah, you had to be around a little while.
Gorman Thomas was never signed with the Brewers for defense. Gorman Thomas was signed for home runs. That what did Jim Brown say when he was in training camp and the coach said, I want you to block? He said, you don't pay me to block? It's like certain people in the NBA. They say, Dame Lillard, he don't play no defense. I don't pay Dame Lillard to play defense. I pay Dame Lillard for 28 points a game.
True. So, but, it's the same thing with all of these Wisconsin sports teams, man. I've been off the Packers bandwagon ever since they fired Ray Rose with 8-8 and gave Mike Sherman a 4-12 contract extension. So now the Brewers proved to me that they can win, but not the big one. So,
sorry about that. What you eat, Devo? We could hear you.
What happened?
What's wrong with Debo, man?
Man, Debo eating chicken skins.
You sound like me when I be sitting there eating that popcorn. That crypto killer popcorn that Kia used to give me. I'm just smacking, and the mic is open, and I'm just smacking.
Hey, right. It was so funny because Keith looked at me. It was like, I heard it the whole time. But since he threw in the Greenfield joke, I figured I'd get him that way.
Wow. You guys are.
Whatever it is, it was good. Whatever it was,
it tastes like steak. That was going in.
Wow.
Cat got steak and eggs over there, man.
All right, man. So are you through with the Packers now?
Well, I mean, they still got some stuff to do for me to make me a fan again.
I'm gonna be. I understand that. I understand the whole Ray Rhodes thing was a lot of people. They did, but I was saying before, I don't know if I said it on the air. I did. I said that I never thought he should have got the job. And sometimes you put people in a position to fail. Yeah. I mean, you walk into a situation, it's like in the NBA, you're not going to be Steve Kerr that's going to walk into where you've already, Mark Jackson really built that team.
Yes, sir.
Developed those players, and now you walk in and you go like,
the fruits of his labor.
Yeah, that's rare because most black coaches are getting teams that are struggling. Yeah. You see it in NFL, they're struggling. Yeah. And let me shout out an alum, my guy down in Tampa Bay. What's his name?
The coach?
The coach. Yeah, he is. He's an alum of Mount St. Mary's.
He was a good player too, man.
I can't think.
Bowles.
Yeah, Todd
Bowles. Yeah. But he's found that out when I pulled up the Mount and they showed distinguished alumni. Hopefully, I'll be able to get on that list one day. But they pulled him up, and yes, he sure did. He went to the Mount. He got his master's degree from the Mount. All right, man. I appreciate you being being a stand-up brother and call in.
Okay, y'all. Well, y'all take care, man, and keep on hoping for the Brewers.
Yes, sir. Well, that's all we got right now.
Keep on hoping.
That's all we got. That's all we got. Hang on to the little hope that you got. You know, because sometimes that's all you got is a hope and a prayer.
Wow.
That's it.
And this is
all
a great
y'all
opportunity.
Take care of me.
All right, this is a great opportunity. Whisper
right.
a prayer. Caller, welcome to the program.
Stop yelling at the Lord.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine. I am calling to find out information as far as advertising my new establishment. I just opened up a bar in Racine.
Okay, well, hold on. We're gonna give you the business. Can we give her the business office number, please?
Yeah. Matter of fact, hold on.
Hold on. All right.
Okay, hold tight and I'm gonna get that information over to you.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Hold tight. Skin tight. Okay, so you went to church and I didn't shout them out, man. We did children's church yesterday. I love children's church. I really love children's church, man. And teen church, because we had as many teenagers as we had kids, little guys. And man, I just love, they don't bring the mess that adults bring to church. You know, they're still at that point of innocence and purity. Because I'm going to tell you, when people get grown, I don't know if y'all ever said this, when we were kids, I ain't going to be like them. And guess what? We turned out to be just like them. Oh, Lord. So anyway, children's church was fun yesterday. You guys want the you want to do the children's church quiz we did yesterday?
Yeah, man.
Say how much you know the Bible?
Yeah, let's do it. I ain't read it in a few. I just know, I just
how many parts of the Bible divided into?
How many parts?
Yeah.
7. Wait.
Two.
Give
me my damn.
2. damn. 2. It's the New Testament and the Old Testament.
Okay. How many total books in the Bible?
No, hold on. I'm saying nope. I ain't turning your mic on. I'm trying
to mic on.
I'm trying to.
It looked like Sinead. It looked like Sinead.
It was like, wait, 2 carry the 1.
Just like Sinead.
I had to look to the hills, which come in my help.
How many books in the Bible?
Is it 66?
Yes, sir. Look. Now he just
well, you know what? Matter of fact.
All right. So how many in the Old Testament?
30, 33, 32. Wait, is it 30?
You should have quit when you got the first one right.
No. I think it's see, carry the 1.
Keith just couldn't let well enough alone.
4.
It ain't up there. Whatever you looking up in the sky.
I'm looking to the hill.
And he's Jethro Bodine, boy. He doing some ciphers back there, man.
Fifth grade education.
I remember this coming up through the church.
Yeah, I think it was like one of our first little things in our catechism.
Yeah, but I couldn't.
39 in the old, 27 in the
I knew
new.
it was something odd like that.
Okay. So in the Old Testament, what were the original languages that the Old Testament was written in?
Hebrew.
That's one. Got another one.
It's Hebrew and
it's also the tongue that Jesus spoke.
Jewish? No, that ain't a language.
What do you call it?
Jewish. Jewish words?
He was Jewish. So I guess he would speak Jewish.
What kind of material is that?
This one young lady said, She said automatic is Aramaic. Aramaic.
Oh.
What was the primary language used in writing the New Testament?
What was the primary language used in writing the New Testament?
When they repeat it back, Keith.
No, that's when you got to get it into your spirit. When you repeat it back, you get it into your spirit.
So what was the question again, Jermaine?
Stop playing, kid. You so crazy. You didn't take that ball looking to the head. All right. Greek.
Wait.
Greek.
Debo, why you ain't answering none of these?
Because I don't know none of them answers. I'm not going to even.
He's smart.
Launch out there.
He over there eating chicken skins. Like
when you chicken skins, I do not eat chicken skins.
Well, I know somebody yesterday down left some good pork skins down in the kitchen yesterday. I just needed some hot sauce, boy. I would have been great. You know, it's hard to find real good. We should be eating it. It's hard to find real good pork skins, though.
Did you preface that with we shouldn't be eating it?
Yeah.
With the peace sign or left the fist?
Well, because I pointed out the similarities between Islam and Judaism in terms of dietary codes, right? And then for those of us in the Christian tradition, we have the Seventh-day Adventists. They also follow the Jewish dietary code, and so. But yeah, it was, and then I pointed, and the young people were kind of really, because I had the teens, you know, and that's the great thing, because when you're giving people new information, you know, but I pointed out that one of the differences between Paul and Jesus was Paul was highly educated and Jesus wasn't. Paul had a very formal, he studied under Gamaliel. Obviously, Paul, because of where he was born, he was a Roman citizen. That was the difference between him and Jesus. Jesus was not a Roman citizen. This is why Paul was going to make his appeal to Caesar, right? Because he was a Roman citizen. Jesus wasn't. Paul was trained in law, right? Jesus knew scripture. So there were these differences there. And then Paul was better suited to deal with non-Jewish folks, Gentiles, because Paul had a world view and a sophistication, but his exposure was such that culturally he could identify with them. And what happened was, because, you know, they had people who said, if you're going to follow Jesus, because remember the followers of Jesus was Jewish, that they wanted, especially men, to be circumcised, right? And Paul was saying, no, that is not what makes you a real follower of Jesus, is you follow his precepts and teachings. That's what makes you a follower, not so much that you're Jewish. And you try to point out to people that the earliest folks, Jesus was Jewish. That's why when you hear, and there was this mantra in Catholic theology that said the Jews killed Christ. They did that to foster anti-Semitism. Actually, no, Jews did not kill Christ. Rome crucified Jesus, because Jews could not and did not use crucifixion for capital punishment. I think capital punishment for Jews was stoning, but crucifixion was reserved for or used by primarily then during that time by the Romans. I have, because, you know, there is people who I kind of struggle with the symbolism of the cross. It was something that Keon said. He said that because there's a book out by Dr. James Cone called The Cross and the Lynching Tree. And they're trying to reconcile the importance of the cross, but then understanding that the cross was just like the lynching tree. Lynching tree was public terrorism by the government to say, if you push up against the government, this is what will happen to you. Right? That's why crucifixions weren't private affairs. They were public. And you left the bodies up there. And if anybody, and I don't know how true it is, when you saw the movie Spartacus, remember they just lined the road with all of those rebels to show everybody else, if you do this, this will happen to you. That's how I kind of even get into the whole thing about corporal punishment and descendants of enslaved Africans, that form of discipline where you discipline an enslaved African in front of folks, just in case you ever want to think about getting out of line. So I always try to look at that from the political, the historical part of it. I understand that there's the mysticism that's also. Do I have a guest?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. No, I'm just looking at this beautiful young lady. That's okay. Then back to me. She was up on the screen. So that's what we did in
what if I had been goofing off, man?
I don't know. I didn't know. It scared me.
Yeah, I'm like, man, Keith see something I don't see because I don't see nobody sitting here.
No, he was talking about this picture that I had up on screen.
Up on the screen there.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, I was about to say, man, Keith, you losing it, bro.
Well,
it's like I gotta
this not be this.
she's for the next show, by the way, guys.
Oh, okay.
I was like, Keith is losing it.
I'm just working.
And there's people out there who've already thought that not only did I lose it, I lost it. I was telling the kids yesterday, I got so confused as a child, and maybe that's why I did 3 years of kindergarten.
Oh,
but
oh my God!
Don't bring that back.
Remember, they used to say cross on a green light.
Yeah.
Well, that was confusing to me
because you thought it was a cross on the green light.
Because I didn't realize
I'm serious.
I didn't realize.
Why? Just don't do it. Don't do it. Just take I
gotta do it right there on 5th and Center. I didn't realize, especially after this young lady had got hit by one of my classmates in kindergarten, first grade, that got hit by a car. So they said cross it. It took me some time to realize, what they're saying is when you want to cross the street, it's the green light that you're crossing.
Yeah.
So I just stood there.
That cat's still standing there.
I'm still
but guess
standing
what? Here's the problem. There's no stoplight. There's no red and yellow and green on 5th and Center.
Yeah, it is.
Not on 5th.
There used to be a stoplight.
Not on 5th.
Dude,
wait.
I was there.
Yeah.
There was a stoplight there, right where, and I don't know if it's not there anymore now, but yeah, there used to be a stoplight
on
there.
5th.
On 5th Street, on 5th and Center.
Yeah.
Nah.
And so you know what I did? And I'm trying to figure out why I'm up on 5th and Center anyway, seeing that I lived on 4th Street. So
5th and Center, though, was right by the liquor store.
The bar. Yeah, there used to be a stoplight
there.
Yeah.
He said it was a red, yellow, and green stoplight there.
It was there, man.
My grandfather lived down the street. I told you I lived right down the street.
Dude, I went to 5th Street.
You didn't even know. Never mind. I ain't gonna do that to you.
No, I know Locust.
There's none on 5th and Locust.
There was no reason for me to go to 5th and Locust because
it's 7th Street, and then the next stoplight that I ever recall being there.
A stoplight there. That stoplight is gone, but it was there.
Well, you can Google it.
Yeah, Keith don't know.
So you know what I did, because I'm not that dumb.
How long did you stand there?
I just walked down once I figured out that I'm not gonna cross the street here, I just walked down to 4th Street where I should have been in the first place, where there was no stop.
and just cross.
And just cross the street.
Here we go, boo boo.
That cat was standing there like, any day now.
Young man, what's going on? I can't cross the street.
Why is that?
The light is green.
There's no green light.
The tall cat standing on the corner.
Oh, man. Poor Keith. Poor Keith. Oh, man.
So were you standing in front of Les Harris's? Was that the name of the bar right down the corner, Les Harris?
I don't know the name of the bar then.
Yeah, back then.
And what? Even that liquor store wasn't there.
Huh?
That liquor store wasn't there back in the 60s.
Been there. What was it? A furniture store? What was it? A furniture store?
I don't know what it was. It wasn't there in the 60s.
Yeah. I remember it being. I think that was
63.
What was the liquor store that was at Capitol Court? Was that Safer's Liquors? What was that? It was Capitol Court.
It was a liquor store at Capitol Court?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, you cats old, man. I can't indulge in this conversation.
So you don't remember the movie theater either at Capitol Court?
Yeah, I do. I do remember that, walking around that corner part towards the end.
No,
you never
the movie theater was over over by
you
Playmaker.
never went out there for Christmas?
I remember because they had it roped off on the inside like Santa Claus.
Santa Claus.
Yeah. Now I remember that, But as far as the liquor store and stuff in there,
yeah, there was a liquor store in the mall.
Wasn't Capitol Court one of the first indoor malls here? Yeah, when they enclosed it.
Yeah. Because they actually had rides in there too.
Outside, Fun Town.
They had that little train. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, boy, let me tell you about Fun Town.
Yeah.
That wasn't much fun. Caller, welcome to the program. Good morning.
It was
Keller's. Yeah.
Whitlock.
But I think they also had the 5th and Center location.
They may have. Dick's Grocery was on Center Street on the north side of the street.
Yeah, but Dick's was on 6th
Street.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could smell Dick's.
He said you could smell Dick's.
Watch out.
I never smelled them.
Pause, Doc.
It was a light on 5th and Center.
That was one of those pause.
That was one of the worst smelling stores ever. I hated when I had to go up in that store, man.
Yeah, it was dingy.
What it smelled like?
Just dingy. It was nasty.
Yeah.
What it smelled like?
What else you want to know about Milwaukee? He talking about the young man talking about the cookie house. He mentioned something about being roped off around Christmas, I thought.
Yeah, that was the gingerbread house and the Christmas.
The cookie house.
Yep.
Inside.
That was in Capitol Court, right?
Inside Capitol.
Yeah, I remember that.
All right, now let me ask you guys this. Where the Burger King was, no, not the Burger King, where the Taco Bell and the KFC is. Do y'all remember what was there?
Taco Bell
when
and
I was
KFC
a kid,
where?
it was.
Oh, you mean on Fond du Lac?
No.
Yep.
On Fond du Lac?
Yeah.
You got to be talking about in that area.
Taco Bell and KFC, like 60th. That whole
right on that.
Up in there. What was up in there? You had a sign right at the Burger King on Fond du Lac in Capitol.
Yeah, that's 51st.
Yep. Y'all remember what was there, do you?
I don't.
Burger King and Fond du Lac.
It was. Now, if you up where that where that Burger King and the bank was, that was Barnaby's, and then it became the Fox Trap.
No.
It was a club.
Before that, it was Rich Man, Poor Man.
Right. It was
Bob Thomas owned it. Ruby Chevrolet. Ruby Chevrolet had a lot there.
I do remember that now that he's bringing it back.
I worked there in high school.
So wasn't there
a car wash there? The little dingy car wash. There was a few houses, but there was an amusement park called Fun Town right there.
Right.
That's what we should.
Northwest General Hospital.
That's correct.
And then there was Hardee's over there too.
Northwest
right?
is
right. Oh, that was way. Hardee's was way.
Okay.
Yeah, but when he bought that building, that was one of the original locations of Barnaby's Pizza.
Yes.
Oh wow!
And Bob Thomas and Tina ran a Rich Man. I worked there in high school.
Wow.
Yeah, that was during the disco era because
Terrence
time I hear We Are
DJ
Family,
in there. He was like 14, 15.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah. Every time I hear We Are Family, I think that was one of the 5 songs they had that the DJ played all night.
Wow.
You said one of the 5.
And when we went in the room to get supplies, they had candles, like boxes of candles for the tables.
Mm-hmm.
And they were right as soon as you opened the door and you had to grab these candles. You knew where the stuff was, throw them in there so the mice, because I was scared of mice, I'd take a handful, throw them, grab what I needed, and got the hell out of there. But yeah, I remember the Boston Village across the street, Milwaukee TV, Winchell's Donuts.
Was Marcus. And what was also there, Sweeten House.
Oh, the Sweeten House,
Yeah.
Scanda, right there, that building is still there.
It became Scanda after, but first it was the
Sweeten House. The Sweeten House. Neil's Shoes.
We used to go
was in that Bostonian Village and the Pick and Save.
Because now, Jermaine, do you remember where Marcus is now? That was Boston store.
Yep.
Yeah, that was Boston. Bostonian Village, they used to call it.
Yeah.
Wow. No.
So you
the bus stop. Actually, y'all remember the bus stop tavern?
J.C. Penney's, Gimbals, all of that was right there in Capitol Court.
Really?
The Boston bus stop tavern was right there where Ace Hardware parking lot. Remember the cops killed that Roger Lyons in there that Christmas Eve, I think. Wow. There was a little. Then it became a Sundazzle pub.
Wow.
Yeah, man, you old.
No, I just remember the history. Taco Bell was right there with the auto parts store east of there. Nichols Pharmacy.
Okay. You know that part of town. You tell me, and I know you're going to get it, but I'm just going to test you out to see.
Anywhere in Milwaukee. Anywhere. Go ahead.
Where was Robbie's?
Tatooine Center.
And where else?
I can't now. Now I'm lost on that one.
76 in Silver Spring, and he was on King Drive, 3rd Street, at the back of the little mall. It used to be the National T. And
I know right where you're talking about. Right. Yeah.
And they just tore that down, didn't they?
Yeah, they're tearing it down.
I think I did go past there, and they were.
Yep, because that's where what they're tearing down is where the old U.S. Bank was. It became the DNR building.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Well,
but now it has been said. Now,
Wisconsin. I'm sorry.
One of you guys could clarify this for me. It has been said that the original Cole's food store was on 3rd and North Avenue. No, we talking.
I remember it. No, I thought it was. I thought the original was 35th and Juno.
Yeah.
No.
That's what I thought.
Because it was a small store.
Now I remember it used to be an A&P store right there. It was an A&P.
And Kroger's was on 4th Street.
Wow.
How many of y'all remember Nationals when Nationals was here?
That's where
right
there, they built that little mall next door going north of there. And then at the end of that mall, you go down and there was a Robbie's.
Wow.
Okay.
Because there used to be a theater there called the Century.
I don't. Yeah, but I remember National stores, 25th and North Avenue was a hair store. Now I remember my mother. Let me tell you how this when I get off the air. One Saturday, we lived on Lloyd. My mother gave my brother, I'll never forget this, my oldest brother, some money to go pay up bills. He said, you can have a change, get some milk. He stole some Reese's, them little Reese cups, like the individual ones.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I eat one, I think it was, we walked out the store and the security guard grabbed him by the neck, a big old black dude, took us back in. We had to go in a room and wait on the police to take us home. And I was happy. It was hot outside. I was happy to ride in the police car, but the milk was getting hot for the cereal because I knew I wasn't in no trouble, but I'm brother.
All right.
Wow.
All right.
He had some problem.
All right. Yeah, I know he did. You're listening to Community Voice. We're going to take a break. Call, I see you. I'm going to grab you right after the break. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to Community Voice. Caller, we thank you for your patience. Welcome to the program.
Hey, how you doing, Keith?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, so since you're going down a memory lane, do you remember what used to be on 27th and Capitol? Now it's Popeye and McDonald's. You remember what used to be there?
I know there was a red barn where the Popeyes is.
No, it ain't. Yeah, well, yeah, you're right. But the Palladium, you remember the Palladium? It was right there. It was a bowling alley. 27th Capitol.
I don't get ready to say where the
It's in the same area.
Is that where the laundromat is?
There, and it was so big, it was right in that same area.
Right, because they built that McDonald's when I was in 7th grade.
You really? Well, do you remember Empire's Fish Market where on 24th and Belize?
Yeah, but that was a different neighborhood. But yeah, I remember them.
Yeah, and they out in Water Plank Road, Tom Plank Road. They got away from all y'all. I remember. I can go way back, way back. I remember all them things. I don't tell you how.
I don't know if anyone, if you haven't, be a great opportunity. Go down to Thrive on King, which is the old Gimbals.
Yeah, I go. I really know that area very well.
The old Gimbal Schuster's was right there on that corner.
Right, exactly. And then up the street, all the little women's shops were there, like Three Sisters and Mary Jane's, where we go get our little dresses and
W.T. Grant's,
yeah,
Lane Bryant.
Walgreens
is on the corner there.
Right.
And you know what? You used to be able to eat in Walgreens.
Yeah, but you know what happened? This real big guy, this is the truth. This is real truth and no lie. It was in the newspaper. This real big guy came in and he ate chicken and kept eating chicken, you know, when you get all you want. And he kept eating and he called the police on him because he wouldn't eat.
Yeah, some people struggle with all you can eat don't mean eat all you can.
Well, he did. He actually was eating the chicken. He wasn't throwing, he wasn't putting it in no pocket. He was actually eating it. And they called the police because he refused to leave. He said, "All I can eat."
Yeah, I don't know. There's a psychology out there when it comes around food, and and I'm a little weird. That's why it's rare if you ever see me eat publicly. But I see people, and sometimes you're not hungry.
You don't be. And I don't like going to those places where, the buffet, the Golden Corral, they have their place piled up. I get a little dab of this and a little dab of that, and I'm done.
Yeah, I'm not, look, I'm not being judgmental. I'm just saying that sometimes I just wonder, I guess I am being judgmental. I'm just wondering, are you that hungry? Victor's had one of the great fish fries.
Mm-hmm.
It was all you could eat, and people are literally taking food home with them. That is not how a buffet works, y'all.
Right, and they just stack stuff in their purses and stuff and all that.
Man. And you ain't that poor. You ain't that broke. And here's the thing about, I hate when people say take this plate home, because by the time the food gets home, it didn't.
I don't even want that kind of food.
Now I will take dessert.
Yeah, I will take all on your car.
It's crazy. And y'all have heard me. I'm trying to figure out how at repasses and at church picnics where that aluminum foil came from that wasn't supplied by the church.
You know what? They come there ready and lock and loaded.
Or you try to explain to people, okay, we're doing a fundraiser for the building fund, right?
Yeah.
Well, then people, all they gave me was one piece of fish because it's a fundraiser, man.
Man, they didn't. Oh God, I have a friend like that. I don't care what she go to. If they got food there, she gonna pack up something, funerals and all. I said, look at I get sick of that stuff.
But that's a whole thing going on. And like I said, you ain't that hungry.
Oh,
maybe you are. Maybe you are. Maybe I'm gonna fall back. Maybe you are.
Well, or maybe though you got to save something for later. you might get hungry later on.
Go in your refrigerator and
I
boil you a
can't
couple
stand a
eggs.
glut. I just can't stand a glut. So in the Parris family, you invited me to your 9-year-old birthday party.
Yeah.
The Parris kids won't eat.
All,
and people go, well, what's wrong with the Parris kids? Because the Parris kids ate
already
before they got there. Because my mama said, you ain't embarrassing me looking like you haven't eaten.
Now, is that a thing that I think black families do? Because
that
happened with us.
I wish there was more black families because it was obvious for some of the kids there. They'd be like, oh, man. And they said, would you like? No, ma'am.
Yeah.
No,
I
ma'am.
tell my kids, don't take nothing. You ain't hungry. When they offer you something, say, no, thank you.
What did Paul say?
Not hungry.
If you're hungry, eat at home.
That's exactly right.
Eat at home. Don't eat up all the food for all the poor folks. If you're that hungry, eat at home.
When I tell my kids, I said, if they offer you something, say no, thank you. I've eaten already, and go ahead on and play.
That's right.
That's embarrassing.
But not come home talking about how good those hot dogs were.
So
how would you know?
Right. So you mean to tell me you ate them hot dogs?
Yeah, eating up the kids' stuff. Well, anyway, I just want to holler at you real fast.
How would you know what a hot dog even tastes like?
Yeah, they talking about you talking about they want it made to eat later. Go in the refrigerator and boil you a couple of eggs and go lay down somewhere.
I used to.
Hey,
I would tell Mama. I said, Mama, I'm hungry. She said, there's peanut butter and jelly in there. You know, like, because I was gonna try to get into those leftovers, right? She's like, those leftovers for tomorrow.
Get on away from me.
No, you better get on away from that. I know one morning I got up. I was in high school, man, and you know, hey, I was burning a lot of calories. Yeah, I was an athlete. Yeah. I got up and ate the spaghetti.
Oh my!
And my mama came home. That was supposed to be for dinner.
Oh my! You ate it all?
You better get some grits and oatmeal. Get away from me.
That cat ate the bowl.
I ate that spaghetti. My mama lost her mind. I'm gonna tell you because I look at the garbage me and Rhonda throws out.
Yeah,
that was garbage for a year.
Yeah,
I hear you.
That was for a year. Cause wasn't nothing being thrown out. Nothing.
I mean,
nothing.
And I used to hate as soon as you open the loaf. And you got the first end, and then you got to eat all. You eat the in between. You got to learn how to toast those ends.
The end was a bomb.
I hated the end.
Oh man!
And you know what else?
Hey, Mama, we need some bread. No,
you don't eat them ends.
Eat those ends. We don't need them.
We didn't need no butts.
And you know what else kids will do? They'll trim the crust off the bread. You seen them do that?
Yeah. Well, I know that I had a friend. Her mama made her lunch every day, and she would cut the edges off.
Yeah, they were just so nasty. Now,
crazy.
Now, this is one thing I remember as a child because Artie's food store was right over here.
Yeah.
And Mama used to send us to the store. This is every Saturday morning. This honestly got to. She'd send about 5 of us to the store. Tell us each one of y'all grab 3 or 4 loaves and bring it back to the house. Listen, my mom used to be so mad at me because I used to eat a whole loaf by myself.
Just bread.
No, bread and pork and beans, bread and manwich, bread.
Yeah.
Just a whole loaf. I get a bowl of manwich.
My mom used to do those steaks with the little bone there in the middle.
Yes.
Yeah.
And those drippings, boy, I give me some bread. I do some sausage.
That was me.
Oh, that was good, man. All that grease.
Grease sandwich.
Grease sandwich there, boy.
Yeah, memories, bro.
But we wasn't poor.
I remember a family that bought like hominy by the case.
Oh, I love hominy.
And they would just go, when they got hungry, they would just go get them a couple cans of hominy, heat it up, and sit there and eat it.
Oh.
It was good. It was good.
All right. Appreciate you, dear.
All right, baby. I'll holler at you later. Have a good one.
So now, what is hominy like corn or something?
Yeah, it's like a cornmeal
mush.
Mush. I'd say mush, but like, isn't it like cornmeal?
I don't know. I'd seen them eat it, but I didn't.
And I just really started eating grits again as adults. Cause
I don't even eat grits because it tastes like there's rocks in it, man.
Well, I know we had a but that didn't know what they was doing. But we had a men's breakfast this Saturday before last. Whoever made those grits,
Yeah,
they were slamming. But then we got into the debate: sugar or butter. I don't put sugar on my grits.
Man, I put sugar in everything.
So it says hominy is a food item produced from dried maize kernels
Corn
that have been treated with an alkali in a process called nixtamalization. And the hominy is a type of
sound like you should have went to Greenfield, brother.
No.
And then you hear him over there, yelp.
No, because I was going to get him like, sound like an LPS education to me.
You come read it.
No, you didn't send it to me, brother. That's your assignment.
You come read it.
Don't throw me under the bus.
Carla, welcome to the program.
Because you got tire marks on your chest.
Carla, welcome to the program.
How y'all doing?
Good. What's happening?
I'm trying to be brief because I'm driving, but yeah, that called in before naming all the good stuff, man, like Ruby, Carlot. I remember Stevenson's Furniture. I remember working there. He asked a question about the codes and what was on 60th. He said Fond du Lac, but then he switched it up. But if the Taco Bell that's right there right now on 60th and Fond du Lac used to be a gas station. I used to love going in there. Wow. Used to be a gas station, just like Ebony Man's World haircut place on 35th and Keith. They moved up the block, and A1 Shop stayed there. It was a good time back then, man, but all that's over with now because if you don't drive around this sucker and see all the old stuff that you grew up with, you won't see it no more. You won't even be able to recognize it. That's all I need to say.
Yeah, that's true.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's true, man.
I used to work next door to Goldman's.
Wow.
On Mitchell.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, whatever you want, you can find it at Goldman's.
You could.
Now, I know, man, that y'all, I don't want to say old enough, but you guys should know. Right on the corner, right over here, it was a disco. What was the name of that disco?
Well, it was Faces.
That was right here.
It was Alfie's back in the day.
So right on the corner.
Yeah,
right where?
Right there.
Right on the corner.
I know
21st, and then it was right on the corner.
Right.
Next door to Perkins?
Disco.
No, right there. If you go down, that's Teutonia. Just go down to Teutonia.
And then it's those apartment buildings.
There's a U-Haul right there, and then you see the club. That used
to
be.
Well, it used to be.
It was a.
What was the name of that club, Clark?
It was Alfie's back in the day.
Before Dexter got it.
It was a disco. I remember it being a disco.
Yeah, there was
a but it was after Dexter got it. Yeah, right here on Teutonia. Zarco's.
Not Zarco's, man.
Yeah,
not that.
It was Zarco's.
I'm not talking about Zarco's. I'm talking about if you go to 21st, right here, see how if you go down Atkinson, you make that right on 21st, right?
Oh,
where we
the
live.
building right there?
It's that building that's right there.
That beige building. That was a kiddie disco.
What? No, I mean, we was young then, but it used to be.
My guy, Wilkerson. No. You talking about it was the
I think so.
I think it's like almost the Summit building right up here.
It's right here. As soon as you get to the corner, it sure was because it was a disco.
but it was also a kiddie disco because when that like 83, 84.
Like young people?
Yeah, my sister used and there was a guy, Donald Wilkerson.
Okay, so
that was the guy that owned that.
But that joint used to crack. I remember
Donald
Friday.
Wilkerson?
Yeah.
Remember Friday and Saturday nights, man, just seeing all these people pulling
Well, let me
up.
do this, man. We got callers.
Yeah, they calling in.
All right. No, let's go to
you
break.
gonna take?
Because we're at break, right? We got a break?
Yeah, do so.
Y'all want to do a break?
Let's take the break and then we'll take the call.
Break. Look, let's just do the break. You're listening to Community Voice Callers. I'm going to grab you right after the break. We'll be right back.
Parris.
All right, welcome back, caller. We thank you for your patience. Welcome to the program. Good morning.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. What's happening?
Oh, not a whole lot. Is this the Keith Parris show?
For the time being.
Okay. No, I was calling in. I don't know what the topic of discussion today, but I find it very interesting that, in Milwaukee, it's very difficult to communicate with our people and to get together and to be on one accord or two accords. I mean, I've last month, Michelle Bryan had me on the show. She said, call me back anytime you can come on the show. I've called the station and, I haven't gotten a phone call back. So, I just don't understand how we operate in this city as a people.
You would have to call Michelle's show to maybe land that question. Well, I don't think it's fair that you're asking Keith to comment on your inability to get a hold of Michelle.
Okay. Well, I'd like to be on this show. I mean, WNOV is a family community station. I mean, I don't care who.
Call back. No, I'm kidding. So what's on your mind? What's on your mind?
I mean, what do you want to talk about? Let's
talk about the city. Talk about the fact that the mayor put in a position Adam Parcell in a position where someone else in the community should have gotten it. Nobody's coming out talking about that. The Black Caucus met a couple of weeks ago. They were talking about the state of the city, but they went to Madison, they went to Kenosha, they went every place else but here. And at that particular meeting, there was nothing there for the most part but pastors and politicians. There was very few people from the community. So they're saying that they want to help us and that we should be helping each other, but I can't see it in this city.
Mm-hmm. All right. All right, man.
And I apologize if I offended you for saying something about Michelle on your show. That wasn't my intent.
No, man.
No, that wasn't him responding. That was me as the program director. I was trying to figure out where you were going with that.
Well, everything that's going on in the city and the school board, our kids are failing, and it doesn't seem to be anything that's progressing. I got a call from the community liaison officer asking me to be a part of a violence prevention that the mayor's put together. I've knocked on the mayor's door 10 times in the last couple of months. He hasn't answered my call. I've got the alderperson Pratt at our Block Watch meeting asking me to be a part of a group that they're setting up for illegal dumping. I met with Parcell and President Perez of the Common Council. They thought I was coming there to give them ideas of how to change things in the city. When I went there and I talked to both of them, and I told him in his face to face as a man that he needs to step down because he didn't go through the process that everyone else that went through to get that position. And the mayor comes out and gives him a position when we've had people that are part of that organization or in similar situations. They may not have committed as egregious crimes that he had. And then the person that he's under him, Karen Tyler, lost a son to gun violence and then lost her father, hit and run. And she has to work under this person. I just told it's unfair. And I told them both that to their face. And I still believe that.
Let me respond. The fact that the mayor did a process, the mayor didn't have to do, right? So then it becomes a political thing because the way it lined up, and I'm only, the little bit that I know. So this is a person at 35,000 feet. There were people who were very supportive of the interim director, but there were also people out there who had an issue with the interim director. Okay. Ultimately, the mayor makes the decision. The fact that he did that whole community piece, he didn't have to do, but he chose to do it. In some ways, it looked like it politically became a liability because people had already lined up with who they think should get the job. I could say this, my work, and not around this work, because my work with Adam was work that we did in terms of returning citizens. If you're talking, I don't know what you're looking for. Are you bringing a therapist in? One of the things that surprised me, for example, was I didn't know, and I think I heard him say this, that Reggie Moore didn't have a college degree. Now I think that's what he said. If I'm wrong, somebody tell me. But so I'm saying, what do you look for? So it's ultimately up to the mayor, and this office since 2020 has taken on a profile where prior to we might have heard about it. I know some people work with it. I know one of our colleagues worked there, but it became a political issue when we were looking at this increase in violence in the city. And it started with Republicans asking, so what does the Office of Violence Prevention do? And it was such a misunderstanding of the mission of that office, right? Because they're dealing with things like trying to do intervention, trying to deal with issues around domestic violence. That's what it was. Not the homicide rate as much, because there's no office, including the police, that can have a real impact on the homicide rate, right? Police are in a reactive mode. We're in a reactive mode. We're not there when two people have a conflict and ultimately someone loses their life or violence is used to resolve the conflict. People are in a reactive mode. So I can appreciate that it was political, but, you know, the mayor, that's within, you know, the purview of his power to appoint whomever. The fact that they did this, but, you know, like I said, I do know that there were some people in the community, and I don't know how many people that were, but I do know a couple of people in particular who had an issue with the interim. I don't know how much influence that had on the mayor. I'm just saying real talk, that wasn't any situation that you have like that where someone is in leadership, especially in the interim position, that there are going to be people that like you and people that don't like you.
Yeah, and I can understand that position wholeheartedly. However, I went through the process of the three finalists, and afterwards I contacted Karen Tyler, and I told Karen, you know, hey, I'm going to say something on Facebook of the three people that out of a nationwide search, which the mayor used taxpayers' money to do that. Out of a nationwide search, I think there's one gentleman there that would be perfect for the position. And I said, because of the leadership that you've been under, Shante Hamilton, Reggie Moore, I think that you didn't have good leadership. So working under this person for a few years would give you and put you in a position where you can be in that position if that person decided to leave. And then the mayor decides to usurp that authority of that organization that put that together and say, here, I'm going to put this gentleman in there. Well, I went to the meeting last week where he was introducing himself to the community, and there again, I confronted him again that he should be gone. And as far as Reggie Moore is concerned, I've been trying to meet with that brother since 2016. And as far as violence and violence prevention is concerned, I thought what was in the blueprint for peace definitely could have changed the nature and the direction of some of our people in the city that could have reduced some of the crime. I don't think we're ever going to erase it because we live in a crime-infested country.
Well, and so then it is this very difficult proposition. And as taxpayers, as citizens, we're going to look for someone to blame. It's like any issue that we deal with, we have to look at the systemic issues that contributes to the level of violence and the type of violence that you see. I mean,
education is number one.
Well, education is number one, but if people are not taking their kids to school, right?
Well, why aren't they taking them to school? What happened to the school system that broke it down when it used to be community-based schools?
Some of the people who are not making sure their kids get to school have no clue to the history of MPS. It is just not a priority.
I mean, that's late.
No, but what I'm saying is just not a priority in terms of education. People are dealing with other issues in life. So
our education kids should be a priority because they're the future.
They should be, but I'm saying in a lot of instances, not a lot. In some instances, they are not. That's our reality. Everybody out there who's a parent shouldn't be a parent.
When we change that dynamic and then we change the direction of our children, because that's our future. And that's what, I mentor Kia boys and some of these young men are in the streets. And part of it is the systems that we've set up in this city with all these community organizations. And they say when you age out of any of these systems, we're going to throw you on the streets. And they say, F the entire system. I'm 10 toes down with the street because they were supposed to take care of me. Now they're just throwing me out and they get the next one. So we're just using our kids as commodities instead of using them and teaching them and as young adults and children and loving on them.
I read, I think it was Jonathan Swift. I said last week, Jonathan Swift did not write the Scarlet Letter. I think that was Nathaniel Hawthorne. But Jonathan Swift wrote something I remember reading in English literature called he called it a modest proposal. And what he was dealing with was the number of homeless young people in London back in the 1800s. He said, why don't we just make them cattle? Because we treat our cattle better than we treat some of these young people. We have people who have children. They have their own challenges, and they're having children. For example, the 6 kids that was living in a storage place.
Speaking of which, I've heard no more about that.
Yeah, but you had 2 parents, it looked like, who were dealing with challenges, and they're having children. And we don't want to have the hard conversation about, hey, you know what? Don't have a kid until you're ready to have a kid, because people got a whole lot of things going on in their life. And unfortunately, then you create this group of folks who are disaffected because of parents. You have to ask yourself the question, how does a kid look? And I know it's hard for a woman to try to, but how is it that you lose control of your sons? How is it?
I don't think it's hard for a woman because I grew up in a single family household, and the thing about it is that we had the village. I had men all around me that took care of that part. So just because I grew up in a single family household doesn't mean that I can't be a man. We have to have men in the community in every village. We've allowed the Europeans or white people or whomever to divide our community and start sending us elsewhere. We've taken the man out of the community, and we've spread them every place else but together within the village so we can take care of each other.
I appreciate you. Caller, welcome to the program. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey. What's up?
Hey, I don't know what's going on here. I'm listening to Keith talking now. Just say good morning to me. There's some type of misconnection here.
You can hear me, right?
I hear you, Keith, and I also hear you talking to this gentleman that's been on the phone for a while.
Oh yeah, so you were able to hear that conversation? Okay.
He must be.
Hey, let me call you right back.
He's listening in delay. That's all it is. Whatever device he's listening on is in delay.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's just the whole technology.
Yeah, I think some people want to hear themselves on radio.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me, I don't want to hear me. I hear this voice every day. I don't want to hear me. But yeah, I mean it. Michelle says it all the time. A lot of times it's just the randomness that, what family you just happen to be born into. And he's correct. My mom was a single mom. And it was good that there were positive men that I could see. Some of these young people growing up and they're not necessarily seeing the most positive males, and I'm not saying that people don't have issues. We all have our struggles, but you figure. And then the other thing that my mom did was she put us in environments. We always had something to do. It wasn't no just sitting around doing nothing. We were at the boys club. We were at the Y, we would do all these different things. So at least we could see that there was something real positive that we could do, because if all the person sees is negative, that becomes their reality. So, that's why I believe in exposing young people to as much as you can. Any chance they get to take a trip, let them take a trip, right? Because then they'll find out that the world is bigger than their block. Because once they're kind of contained in that block, and that's the power of the ghetto, you can't see in, you can't see out. This becomes your reality. And then once you get outside of that environment, it's hard for you to comport yourself the way you should, because this was normalized behavior in this environment, and people need to make the adjustments. Last caller, welcome to the program. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Keith. Good morning to everybody in the studio.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, you guys are talking about different places, family history. History of Milwaukee. Did anybody mention the go-kart track over at Capitol Court?
I don't remember that.
I don't remember the go-kart. I thought that was out at Johnson Park.
76.
Yes.
Right?
No, there was a go-kart track at Capitol Court.
Okay. See, I didn't know that. Okay.
Wow.
And that was back, Keith, when you and I were living in the same community down there on Wright Street. And we would go to Capitol Court, and they had a go-kart track there.
I never knew that. And I only did the go-kart track once at Johnson Park.
Okay, yeah, I remember Johnson Park, but yeah, Capitol Court was a big thing, man. It was, I was living on 2nd and Wright, and sometimes we would go to Capitol Court, man. That was the biggest
big deal, man. You went to Capitol Court. I mean, the mall?
Yeah.
That was, now, you know, when I went to high school, there were 2 routes of the 68. The one route that I caught on the 68 would take us down. We get on Santa Monica, let us off in Santa Monica and Silver Spring. There was the other one, this is when I was late, where it would go out to Bayshore. And Bayshore then was not an enclosed mall. So I can remember being late running, trying to get to, as a matter of fact, where that Kohl's department store is, that used to be our football field. I was our practice field for Dominican.
Oh, okay.
But I knew I was late when I was on that 68 because that's not taking me the way that I should be going. And then man, we talking about, and we be hitting it, man, because the last thing you want is a tardy. So we be hitting it, trying to get through there, man, and run those 3 blocks. Well, you know, I was in great shape when I was a youth.
And I want to mention also that back when we used to come to Capitol Court, that community was an all-white community.
Way out.
And you know, we're coming from our community, our black community to that community, and you know, it was just a area that was a host of beautiful homes or whatever. And now I live in one of those homes. And I've been living in this house for like 30
we certainly went beyond what used to be called the inner core, right? And like I remember we moved past Burleigh. I didn't realize that, you know, Burleigh was like white neighborhood. I had no clue. Yeah, I had no clue. Now there were some folks who lived on Capitol Drive, but they were the doctors, the lawyers, you know, the folks who were doing very well. But for us, and then in that Rufus King area. But for us, man, when we moved on 5th Street, we just moved. That block was all white when we first moved over there. That changed very quickly.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The white flight.
Yeah. And it wasn't a lot of, it was just older white folks who were there. Their kids were gone because there were no white kids on that block when I moved over there. And so now we had families. For a lot of us, black folks, we were buying our first homes. You know, that was the first home my mother bought. Was right there on 5th Street. It's still over there. When I go over to Bader, I get a chance to see my old house there, 3371. North 5th Street, the top of the hill, which used to be a one-way going down the hill. Now it's so disconcerting because it's a 2-way street. But yeah, at the top of the hill. All right, man.
You said 3371 North 5th Street?
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna look that up so I can see the house.
Yeah, it's been there. Anyway.
Okay, man.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
Okay. All right.
All right. Thank you, Debo.
Yes, sir.
Jermaine, thank you.
Indeed.
Clark. Here you go. All right, callers, we thank you. The good Lord willing, Creek don't rise. And tomorrow is George Floyd's birthday. We will remember George Floyd tomorrow because I understand that they're also doing a commemoration of Charlie Kirk, who just happens to have the same birthday as George Floyd. So tomorrow we will remember our martyr, George Floyd. Hey, y'all. Good Lord willing, Creek don't rise. Hope to talk to everybody tomorrow. And as always, go from this place in peace.